Welcome to Animal Biotechnology. Today, we are going to explore two of the most fascinating and powerful concepts in modern science: cloned and transgenic animals. We will learn how scientists can create exact genetic copies of living creatures and how they can upgrade an animal's genetic code to produce life-saving medicines. By the end of this lecture, you will understand the exact laboratory techniques used, the mathematics behind their success rates, and why these breakthroughs are revolutionizing agriculture and medicine. Let us dive in. To begin our journey, let us understand what animal cloning actually is. Imagine you have a favorite family recipe book, and you want to give your best friend an exact copy. You would not rewrite it from memory, you would use a photocopier. In the biological world, cloning works exactly like that photocopier. Instead of paper and ink, we are copying the entire genetic instruction manual of a living creature. Normal reproduction mixes half the instructions from the mother and half from the father, creating a unique mix. Cloning bypasses this mixing process entirely. It allows us to create a brand new animal that is an exact genetic twin of a specific, already existing adult animal. Now that we understand what cloning achieves, let us look at how it works in the laboratory. The formal technique is called somatic cell nuclear transfer, or SCNT. Let us break down these terms. A somatic cell is just a regular body cell, like a skin cell, which contains the complete double set of chromosomes. Scientists take the nucleus, the command center holding the DNA, out of this somatic cell. They then transfer it into an unfertilized egg cell that has had its own nucleus removed. Once the donor nucleus is inside this empty egg, a tiny electrical spark is used to trick the egg into thinking it has been fertilized. This prompts it to divide, grow into an embryo, and eventually be born from a surrogate mother. Understanding the SCNT process naturally leads us to ask, why go through all this trouble? The real-world applications of cloning are absolutely massive. In agriculture, if a farmer has a cow that produces extraordinary amounts of milk or resists deadly diseases, cloning allows them to create an entire herd with those exact same elite traits, ensuring food security. For conservationists, cloning is a powerful tool to save highly endangered species from extinction by replicating the few remaining individuals. Furthermore, in medical research, having genetically identical animals is invaluable. When scientists test a new life-saving drug on cloned animals, they know that any changes are due to the drug itself and not just random genetic differences between the test subjects. Before we move on to our next major topic, let us look at the mathematics of a clone's genetic makeup. Conceptually, while a clone is almost a perfect copy, a tiny fraction of DNA comes from the egg. This is represented by the formula G clone equals N donor plus M egg. Here, G clone represents the total genetic makeup of the newly born cloned animal. N donor represents the nuclear DNA, which contains over 99% of the genes, provided entirely by the somatic cell donor. Finally, M egg represents the mitochondrial DNA, a tiny fraction located outside the nucleus, provided by the egg cell donor. If the value of N donor changes, the primary physical traits of the clone change completely. However, changing M egg only slightly alters the cellular energy factories, without affecting the animal's physical appearance. Now that we have our formula, let us see this with a concrete example. Suppose scientists are cloning a famous sheep named Dolly. We are given that the donor's somatic cell nucleus contains exactly 27,000 genes. The enucleated egg cell provided by a different sheep contains exactly 37 mitochondrial genes. We are asked to calculate the total number of genes in the cloned embryo. We choose our genetic makeup formula because it perfectly models the addition of nuclear and mitochondrial DNA. We substitute 27,000 for N donor and 37 for M egg. By adding these together, we find that the cloned sheep will have a total of 27,037 genes. This final answer physically represents the complete genetic blueprint required to build and operate the cloned animal, with the vast majority coming from the donor nucleus. This total gene count we just calculated leads us to an important question. Exactly how identical is the clone? To find out, we use the standard percentage formula. Conceptually, this compares the donor's contribution to the entire genetic pool. The formula is P donor equals N donor divided by total multiplied by 100. In this equation, P donor represents the percentage of the donor's genes in the final clone. N donor is the number of nuclear genes provided by the somatic cell, and total is the combined gene count we just found. We multiply by 100 to convert the decimal fraction into a readable percentage. If N donor increases relative to the total, the percentage approaches 100, meaning the clone is an even more perfect genetic match to the original adult animal. Let us apply this percentage formula to our Dolly the sheep example. We are given the donor's contribution of 27,000 genes, and we just calculated the total gene count to be 27,037. We are asked to find the exact percentage of genes that came from the somatic cell donor. We use the percentage formula to find the relative contribution. We substitute 27,000 into the numerator and 27,037 into the denominator. Dividing these gives us approximately 0.9986. Multiplying by 100, we arrive at our final answer of 99.86%. Physically, this means the cloned sheep is 99.86% genetically identical to the donor sheep, and only 0.14% related to the egg donor. This proves that a clone is a near-perfect but not absolute genetic copy. Now that we have proven the mathematics of cloning, let us visualize the entire process we just discussed. Look at the diagram on your screen. On the top left, we have the somatic cell donor, providing the genetic command center. On the top right, we have the egg cell donor. Notice the crucial step labeled enucleation, where the egg's original nucleus is removed, leaving an empty shell. The donor nucleus is then inserted into this enucleated egg. The lightning bolt symbol represents the electrical stimulation required to fuse them and jumpstart cell division. This creates the reconstructed embryo, which you can see developing at the bottom right. Finally, this embryo is implanted into the surrogate mother sheep, resulting in the cloned lamb on the far left. This diagram perfectly summarizes how we reboot an adult cell's genetic code to create new life. Having mastered cloning, which is about copying, we now move to our second major topic, upgrading. Think about how you might upgrade your smartphone by downloading a new app to give it a capability it never had before. In animal biotechnology, we do something very similar. A transgenic animal is an organism whose genome has been altered by the transfer of a foreign gene, known as a transgene, from a completely different species or breed. Instead of just making an exact copy like we do in cloning, transgenesis is about modifying an animal to give it a brand new trait. This allows us to solve specific human problems, such as engineering animals to produce medicine or resist devastating diseases. Now that we understand what a transgenic animal is, let us look at how scientists actually create one. The most common and direct method is a highly delicate procedure called DNA microinjection. In this technique, scientists use a microscopic glass needle, which is much thinner than a single human hair. They use this needle to physically inject the foreign DNA directly into the pronucleus of a newly fertilized animal egg. Once the DNA is injected, the hope is that this foreign gene will randomly stitch itself into the animal's own chromosomes. If this integration is successful, the egg is implanted into a surrogate mother. The resulting offspring will carry this new gene in every single cell of its body and can even pass the trait down to its children. This incredible microinjection technique leads to some of the most important breakthroughs in modern medicine. One of the most amazing applications is biofarming. Scientists engineer transgenic cows or goats to produce human medicines, like insulin or blood clotting proteins, directly in their milk. This literally turns the farm animal into a living pharmaceutical factory, making life-saving drugs much cheaper and easier to produce in large quantities. Additionally, researchers create what are called knockout mice. These are transgenic mice specifically engineered to have human genetic diseases. This allows scientists to study the disease safely and test new cures before ever trying them on human patients. Without transgenic animals, many advanced medical treatments would simply not exist today. Knowing how powerful these transgenic animals are, we must evaluate how successful the creation process actually is. Conceptually, we need to compare our successful outcomes against our initial attempts. This is captured by the transgenesis efficiency formula. E equals N transgenic divided by N injected, multiplied by 100. Here, the symbol E represents the transgenesis efficiency, which is the percentage of successfully created transgenic animals. The variable N transgenic represents the number of offspring born that actually contain and express the new foreign gene. The variable N injected represents the total number of fertilized eggs that were originally injected with the microscopic needle. If N transgenic increases, the efficiency E goes up, meaning the laboratory technique is working very well. If N injected is very high, but N transgenic remains low, the efficiency drops, indicating the foreign DNA is failing to integrate. Let us apply this efficiency formula to a real-world laboratory scenario. A team of researchers painstakingly performs DNA microinjection on exactly 500 fertilized mouse eggs. After implanting them, 40 live pups are born, but genetic tests reveal that only 8 actually carry the human gene. We are asked to calculate the overall transgenesis efficiency. We choose our efficiency formula because it directly compares successes to initial attempts. We must be careful. The 40 live pups is extra information we do not use because efficiency is based on the initial effort of the injected eggs. We substitute 8 for N transgenic in the numerator and 500 for N injected in the denominator. Dividing 8 by 500 gives us 0.016. Multiplying by 100, we get our final answer of 1.6%. Physically, this means for every 100 eggs injected, fewer than 2 successfully become transgenic mice, highlighting how difficult this process is. Having calculated just how inefficient this process can be, let us look at a diagram to understand why it is so difficult. On your screen is the DNA microinjection process. In the center is the single fertilized egg cell. On the left, you see the blunt holding pipette, which uses gentle suction to keep the microscopic egg perfectly still. Inside the egg, you can see the pronucleus, which contains the animal's original chromosomes. On the right is the incredibly sharp glass needle piercing directly into that pronucleus. Notice the foreign DNA being pushed out of the needle. The scientist must perform this physical injection under a microscope without destroying the egg. This diagram clearly shows the physical reality of transgenesis. We are forcefully inserting new genetic code and simply hoping it stitches itself into the host's DNA. We have covered a tremendous amount of ground today, so let us summarize our key takeaways. First, we learned that cloning, through somatic cell nuclear transfer, allows us to create exact genetic copies of an animal by rebooting a somatic nucleus inside an empty egg. We proved mathematically that these clones are near-perfect twins with only a microscopic genetic contribution from the egg donor. Second, we explored transgenic animals, where we upgrade an organism's genome by injecting foreign DNA to give it entirely new traits, like producing human medicines. Finally, we saw that while techniques like DNA microinjection have a very low success rate, the few animals successfully created hold immense power. You now understand the fundamental techniques and mathematics driving modern animal biotechnology. Excellent work today.